Welcome everybody. I'm Charlotte Kirby and I'm the owner, founder, and queen bee of the Village Hive in Markham. And I've got my two community managers for our other locations here. Mitch, if you want to wave, Mitch. Mitch is at our Yonge and Eglinton location. We just opened there in January. And then Monica is at our Duncan Mill Hive. So she's in North York, just at Leslie and the 401. So we've got 3 locations now of our co-working spaces. And it's, you know, a pandemic right now, not the best time to have a co-working space, but well, it is the best time because we are really looking forward to bringing people back together. The whole reason I opened my co-working space back in 2016 was as working from home and feeling very lonely, working as a consultant, and kind of missed that cooler talk and the cooler chat and the just the social aspect of being in a regular office and feeling a little bit lonely and nobody to laugh at my jokes, of course, was the biggest thing. So I decided to open up a co-working space in Markham. And basically co-working it's not about just renting space to people, it's about bringing people together as a community, providing a space for them to work, but also providing them with lots of other important aspects of people being and working together. So right now we're doing lunch and learns. We used to do these in person in our boardroom in Markham, and we used to meet for lunches. Every Thursday we had a networking lunch, and we are really also about, you know, just being there for each other, especially as entrepreneurs, and having people to run ideas by. And the great thing I think about co-working, and we're really excited to be growing our new spaces in Toronto, is that the collaborations that happen amongst the members, it's really cool. And some of those members are on here right now. And our interior designer working collaboratively with our photographer who's a member, and you know, doing amazing stuff with branding. And also Kinga's part of that crew too. And Kinga joined us as an official member last week. So really excited about that. But so we provide space for you to work, dedicated desks, hot desks. We also have offices. So we do have offices available in our Markham, Duncan Mill, and Eglinton space right now. And as well as virtual, if you need a business office and, you know, or a business address. And King is going to be talking about Google Business. But if you need a business address, you don't want people to know where your home is. If you own a business, then we offer those virtual services as well. Because of the pandemic, I think we're going to have a lot more remote workers working with us as well, not just entrepreneurs. So we're really excited about building our communities. And right now we're in lockdown. We do have some members coming in. We're not accepting drop-in co-working right now. Our offices are still available for people to rent. We're doing tours right now. So we are excited to bring people back together when we can safely. So we started these lunch and learns as a way to connect with people virtually while this is, while we're in these lockdown times and not able to gather in person. And I think we're on maybe the 7th or 8th lunch and learn now. And they've been really great way for people to connect and educate themselves and just take a break at lunch, because we all deserve a little break. So I'm really excited to have Kinga here today. She has a really great topic that a lot of people are curious about, and a lot of people don't even know what a valuable tool the Google My Business is. So thank you, Kinga, for bringing this to us today, and I'll let you take it from here.
Okay, awesome. So thanks everyone for joining. I'll take you through the presentation I put together today. At the end, I actually included a little checklist that you guys can take with you, so that after the training, you can actually go on your own. You don't have to write everything down. You can kind of go through a checklist of everything to do on your own profile. So I'll send that over to Charlotte, and if you guys want to share it out to anyone who wants it. And I have a couple polls to ask you guys questions throughout Zoom. So you'll see those pop up. So if you could answer them, just so we can have a little fun and see what everyone's kind of knowledge base is on certain things. And we'll be doing questions at the end, but feel free as we go through it. If you have a question, there's probably at least 5 or more other people that have the same question. So just unmute yourself and feel free. If you don't want to talk, you can use the chat. So Monica or Mitch will try to let me know if anybody's asking questions in the chat. And I'll just start sharing my screen with you guys. Can everybody see? Yes, okay, awesome. Okay, so today we're going to talk about Google My Business and how you can make optimizations to rank higher, especially on local search. And what local search is, when you're searching and Google actually uses your location through your GPS on your phone or on your computer, and it shows you the listings that are closest to you. So Google always tries to do that first, and that's what's most important, especially for small businesses and local businesses that cater to people that are in and around your area. So things like physical stores that really rely on local traffic. This is especially important for you, but also really any business, because most people these days want to work with somebody who's local versus somebody who might be in another country or another city even. Okay, so just a little agenda for today. So for Google My Business, the things that I'll take you through should allow you to leave this session knowing why you need a Google My Business account if you don't already have one, how to set up your account, how to optimize that account, how to review your analytics, and then why maintaining your profile is essential. I know most of us always wish that we could just kind of set it and forget it, and it would just stay and always keep being awesome. But it is something that you constantly do have to update and maintain. Okay, and before we start, I think I'll just do one of our polls. If you guys could let me know if you use Google to look for local businesses. So whether you're looking for a new place to eat or a restaurant, or you're searching for a service, the poll's up right now. We'll leave it up for a few seconds. So just go ahead and answer that. Okay, and we can end the poll. So it looks like, yes, 81% of us do use Google to search for local businesses, which is pretty accurate. I know I myself even search for, even if I'm going to my local Marshalls or restaurant or whatever, I'll always look them up on Google first to see what are their hours, are they actually open today? So I'll just do a quick search always through Google versus going to the person's website, trying to find their contact page and seeing if they're open. So it's something that people are using more and more. And that's why it's very important for you to have it in your own business. Okay, so your Google business profile is very critical. So it's not just a marketing tool, like I mentioned. Most people, if they do know that they can set it up, it's not something that you're just gonna set up and you're gonna have this beautiful snapshot and you're gonna leave it. It's actually a very powerful tool for your business. And it doesn't only allow people to find you, but it lets them learn about you, lets with you. And all of this comes from SERP. So I think you have probably seen us mention SERP a couple of times. And what that means is the search engine results page. So once you type into Google, all the results that come up on that page, that's called SERP. And that's where you want to show up. In a Google My Business listing, what you'll see is you'll normally see the map of your local area, and you'll start to see profiles of businesses come up. So that's what comes up first now on Google if there are local businesses for what you're searching for. And that is definitely where you want to come up and where you want people to see you. And the best part about this is it's completely free. You don't need to pay for it. There's nothing additional to even try to pay for you to come up. There's no, doesn't work like advertising or Google AdWords or anything like that. It's completely free. And it works based on an algorithm and how complete your profile is. So I'll take you through exactly what you can do to make sure that you come up or you come up higher than your competitors. And before I take you through everything, I'll do another quick poll. How many people actually know what Google My Business is? Before you read the description on the training. Okay, I think we can end it. Okay, so it seems like a 60-30-ish split. I think a lot of people still might know what, or think they know what Google My Business is. They know that it's your business listing on Google. Most people, when I do ask them, are still pretty unfamiliar with it. And I guess that's why it's going to be a nice advantage for you to see how you can actually get your business noticed, because so many people still don't realize that they can use this as a powerful marketing tool that's out there for them. That's actually free. So here's just a quick little visual I wanted to share with you guys of what a Google My Business listing looks like. So this is a really nice listing. It's just an example called The Boutique. You can see the reviews, that it's open right now for the time that I searched it. Their address, website, directions, I can call from here, nice visual. So it's really pretty. And really everybody wants their listing to look like this. Like you hope when somebody searches for whatever your business is, whether it's co-working or you're a restaurant or you're even an accountant, you hope that your business comes up and looks like this. And most people think that when they set up their Google My Business listing, everybody just assumes that this is what they look like. And I'll take you through on how you get there. So the search journey. So we're doing an example here with a chocolate shop. So when you first land on Google, and most people are doing this from their phones, you could search something like chocolate shops near me. You'll be led to the Google My Business results page. So this is what I was mentioning earlier, how it'll show you the map in relation to you and the businesses start to pop up. And the order that these pop up in are based on a variety of reasons. It's not always the one with the highest and most reviews, because you can see that the second one here has 3.5 stars and it's above the Lynn Chocolate Shop, which has 4.1. So reviews do go into consideration for the ranking, but there's a lot more to it. And those items I'll take you through. So just because you have a lot of reviews and all 5-star reviews, that's not automatically going to get you to the top. And then if I clicked the Piece by Chocolate, then I'll be taken again to this beautiful listing here. And for this store, you can actually see they're using some of the unique features of Google My Business. One of them is actually running promotions and events. And so here they had chocolate bars at 20% off. It was for a limited time. So the really neat thing about if you do an offer on Google, you can set it for the dates that it's running, and that will actually pop up on your profile only for those dates. So you never have to go back and turn it on and off. It's only for those days. And it also prompts people, especially if you're selling goods, to come to you quickly or to go to your website now to purchase what you're offering. So that offer really does.
We have a very good question that just came through.
Yeah.
Someone asked, would you say Google My Business is best for those businesses who have physical locations? I'm an e-commerce based chocolate business and my Google My Business page seems to go really wonky, puts emphasis on an ugly map.
Oh yeah, so no, you don't need a physical location. I don't have a physical location either, and I use Google My Business. Normally you would still put what city you're located, just because it does find the people closest to you. So you'd want to put Markham or Toronto, and that map that comes up, I'll show you how to fix that. So if you haven't claimed your business and you haven't been able to add pictures and actually update your profile, that's why that map will come up and your listing won't look as nice. And I think maybe now we'll do our third poll question, and just want to see, like, has anybody who's here today actually claimed their business? And if you don't know what claiming your business means, then just hit no. But if you do know what it is, and if you have claimed your business, let us know now. Mitch? Is he there? Maybe I'll try to do it. Oh, I think he's gone. Oh, there we go. Can you guys see it? So have you claimed your business? Okay, and we'll just end it there. So it looks like 12 of you have claimed your business and 6 that respond, and I guess everybody else on the call hasn't. So actually that's a pretty good number. So claiming your business, what that means is when you sign up for a Google My Business account, it will ask you to either search for your business or to create your business. So most people already, even if you haven't claimed it, if you search for your business on Google and you have a website and an address on your website, Google will create your listing for you, so you'll be able to see yourself. But just because that you're there doesn't mean that you own it. So you want to make sure that you claim that business and that nobody else claims it, because somebody else could, and they could take over your profile. So if you haven't, definitely make sure you claim your business. And I'll show you what claiming your business and what using my Google My Business actually does for you. So I think this is, sorry, I can't remember who asked the question, saying that ugly map comes up and this might be what your listing looks like. So in reality, most people's profiles look like this and nobody really thinks anything of it. You're just happy that your profile's here, your address is here, your phone number, you have a place on the map. So most people think this is great, I'm coming up on Google, and they leave it alone. But there's so much more that you can do. First of all, it's not attractive. It doesn't show people that you're trustworthy, that you're even an active business, and it doesn't allow them to have that feeling of being invited to actually engage with you. So this profile is a good start, but you definitely want to optimize it. So if we take a look at this optimized listing here, this really pretty listing by Ernie, you can see these beautiful photos. So photos are very important, as we know, not just on social media, on your website, but on Google too, because people are very visually interested and intrigued. So if you have really great photos of your profile, this is where they're going to show up. The photos that you upload will be here. And then photos that other people have taken of the outside of your store, or that maybe Google has, if you have a physical listing, they'll show these photos here. And I've actually seen some people where Google had like a picture of the back of their business and it was like facing a dumpster. So as soon as you landed on the listing, you just saw like a big dumpster. And one of the first things that I would think is like, no way am I going to that business. And I've actually had that happen to me. I had a massage booked at a spa, and as soon as I saw the outside of it, I told my husband, like, there's no way I'm using that gift certificate to go to that spot, just because of the way that it looked. So it is super important. Also having those reviews is very important. So we know that especially on Google, and especially for services, people do read these reviews and they will go with the company that has the best review. I think the
Kinga,
yep.
just a quick question. How do you go about claiming your business? I wasn't sure if you were going to cover that, but a few people have been asking how to do that.
Yeah, I'll go through it in a little more detail, but I can answer now. It's very simple. So what you'll want to do is Google My Business, or you can go to google.com/business, and you'll want to sign up for an account. So once you've signed up for your account, in your account, it will ask you to claim your business, and it will allow you to either search for your business on Google, which you can then find it and click on it, or if your listing isn't on Google, so if you've tried searching for yourself and you're not there, then you can actually create your own listing. So if you're a new entrepreneur or a new business, you can definitely create your own listing, but for anybody who's already on there, it will ask you to claim it. If you search for yourself also on Google, once you're in, once you've registered, when your listing comes up, there will be a little button that will ask you if you want to claim your business. So for some people that will come up as well, and you can click on that, and then it will take you to the Google My Business page where you can then officially claim it. And what that means is they'll ask you, is this your business? They'll ask you to prove your address. And once you provide all of the information and Google's satisfied, what they actually do is they mail you physically in the mail a little postcard with a code on it. And once you get that code in the mail, you then have to, it's kind of like what the CRA does. That's how serious it is. You enter the code into the listing and then Google validates you. If you don't validate your business, then you won't get all of these features. So for example, right now, we've been trying to validate our business for a while, and because of COVID, the code got lost or something. And we've completely filled out our profile and our pictures, but because we haven't received that code yet, Google hasn't published half of the stuff that we've done to our profile because they're assuming that it might not be ours. So if you haven't claimed it yet, make sure you ask them to mail you the verification code, which will come to you by mail.
Kinga, Asmina has a question, and I'll see if she wrote it in the chat. She raised her hand. She wanted to know what claiming means. I don't know if that answered your question, Asmina,
It did.
or you have.
It did. I have another question though, actually.
Sure. Yeah.
So hi, by the way, my name is Asmina, and what I wanted to know is my business name is under my name, but I have an offering or I have a package that I really want to roll out and transfer, eventually put my business name under that. So it's called Release and Transform, but my company name is under Asmina Ahmed. I want to claim Release and Transform, but I yet haven't registered it under my business, but I've just bought the domain for it. So well, could you give me some clarity there? Like, what would you recommend I do?
Yeah, so one person can own more than one business. So once you register for a Google My Business account, there's a section where it will ask you to if you want to create a new business. So you don't have to just claim, and claim just means it's my business. You're saying, yes, that's mine. That's all that claim means. And then you have to prove it. Or you can create a new one. Even if you create a new one, they will still ask you to prove your address, and you'll still have to do the same verification. It's just a different process where you'll go through a full setup versus the current business you have right now, which is already there. So you can create it.
So you would recommend I do my name and then I claim another business under the name that I want to package myself as? Is that?
If you're going to be using the other name going forward, then yes. If you're only going to be going forward with that business, and if you have a lot of reviews with the old one, then you can also try changing the name of your business as long as the business is doing similar services. That way you don't lose your reviews and certain things that you've already collected. But if they don't have anything to do with each other, and if they're both going to be active, then you definitely need to.
No, they do. They definitely have, but they've got a lot of stuff in it. But yeah, but I
Yeah, so
understand what
you
you're
can
saying.
try to change the name if you want to keep a lot of your information, and if it will truly be like an update. And Google will either approve you or reject you based on the information.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much.
No problem.
I think just wanted to stop quickly. Sarah, I'm not sure if your question was answered. You had asked if she could repeat how to register and also how you would sign up for it. So I'm not sure if you're okay with that, Sarah. If you're there, do you want to unmute yourself quickly?
Yes, I am. Thank you very much.
It's clear? Okay.
Yes, thank you.
All right, awesome. And just in case for anybody who missed it, you can either Google My Business, or you can go to google.com/business, and it will ask you to set up an account. And from there, it will give you step-by-step instructions on to either claim a business, which means your business is already on Google, or you can create a brand new business if you're a new listing. So just a couple other things I wanted to point out to you guys in this nice optimized listing is right here, you can see the website, the reviews, the ratings. The category is also really important. So this one is an electrician. So whether you're a restaurant, or if you're a digital marketing or a consultant, or if you sell beauty products, there's a lot of categories you can pick from. And you want to be very specific with your category, because sometimes, or a lot of times, people will just search for beauty provider in my area. And so if you put beauty, you will show up as one of the search results. If you didn't put that in your category, and if beauty isn't in your name, then you will never show up. So that's very important. They have a little description. If you do have hours, that is also very important for people to know when they can contact you, when they can expect to receive a response from you. And if you're a physical location, especially right now during COVID, it's very important to keep this updated. You could update it as much as every day if you need to. Your phone number is also super important. People want to be able to just tap right there, click on it, give you a call. And then questions. So I'm not sure if a lot of people know, but just like on Amazon, if you look up a product, you can see that people have asked and answered questions. Google My Business has a similar feature now, where it's frequently asked questions. Anybody can ask questions here, and anybody can answer them. So it's important for you to check your questions and make sure you answer them. And another thing is you can actually input your own questions. So if you have frequently asked questions that you know you're always getting from people, you can put in your own questions and answers right there. And that's something that I don't think a lot of people take advantage of, and it also does help with your search. Okay, so before I take you through the nitty gritty, all the details everybody wants, I'm just going to let you know why you actually want to optimize your Google My Business profile and what is the main thing that it's going to do for you. So I kind of put up your top 3. So you're going to improve your engagement. So more people are actually going to interact with your business through your Google My Business profile than your website. And that's a recent stat that Google put out, where it's proven that people trust search and they're more likely to actually interact with you and find information about you and your business from the Google search results versus physically visiting your website. So you will see a lot of engagement there. You also want to boost your local ranking. So normally Google will show your top 3. Sometimes if you're on a desktop, they might show you up to 5 businesses that come up. Anyone can, of course, click and ask them to expand on the results to see a lot more, but you want to start coming up as the top 3 in your local listings. So we want to boost that, and we want you to have the algorithm actually consider you, your proximity, and your relevance to what the person is looking for, and actually have you show up. So I'm going to show you how you can boost your ranking if you're not coming up right now. And that's when people are searching through your category. So hopefully if they're searching for your business name, you do come up. But if they're searching for whatever product or service you're offering and you're not coming up, this is where you're really going to want to boost that. And the end goal, of course, of all of this, and really any marketing that you do, is to convert more customers. So once you optimize your profile, your customers should be able to find you with keyword searches. They should be able to call you, visit your website, research your products and services, ask you questions. They can even request quotes. They can book appointments for restaurants. They can make reservations, and a lot more. And then you can track all of this. So for clients that I work with on their Google My Business profiles, and Google My Business actually has an iPhone app and an Android app. Make sure you download that once you claim your profile, because you can see everything right on your phone. You can see how many people called you, if somebody messaged you, if somebody asked a question. So it's very important to have that. But monthly, Google does a nice summary. Well, they'll actually send you a whole bunch of analytics, and you can see how many people came to your website from Google, how many people clicked the call button from Google, how many people maybe asked a similar question, so that you can actually see what's going on with your business. Maybe you posted a sale and that's why you all of a sudden got a whole bunch of people searching for directions or clicking to call you. So you can use those analytics to really get a good gauge on what people are looking for. And this really, I think, out of anything compared to your websites or an ad or even social media, and I'm saying this even though I have a social media business, Google My Business will convert the most customers for you. So those are the main
questions.
reasons.
Sorry, Kinga, a couple more questions here.
No problem.
Some good ones. I'm just backing up. So we've got still a little unclear as to how I can have the map hidden and removed on my Google My Business. I've added pictures to the profile, and some people who have posted reviews also shared pictures. Any idea how I can remove the map?
If the map won't be removed unless your business is claimed. So if you haven't claimed it and then physically receive the code by mail from Google and put in that code, they will not allow those pictures to show up first.
Okay.
If you have done all of that and it's still not working, the last thing that you can do is put in a request through Google. They have like a help section to ask them what's going on there. You can also email me after and I can take a quick look for you. But if you have claimed it and successfully put in your PIN, then that should go away.
And a couple more. Mary Beth said, and I agree with this, category is a tough one. So she's a virtual assistant and there's no VA options, just like there's no, I think there might be a co-working option now, but so I've gone with business administrative assistant or service, sorry, closest I could think of. Sounds like a good.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good. And the thing is, Google releases a new listing of categories every single month. So if you just Google My Business categories, you'll see a list that comes up and you can see if that's been added. So at any time you can edit your category. And there are actually a lot of virtual assistants now, and it is something I use them too. So maybe I'll contact you, Mary Beth. So that is a category that I think they will start to add. So just because you don't see it right now, just keep checking.
And another one, actually, just realized that my category is set up to chocolate shop, but for some reason it doesn't appear on my public facing profile. Could it be because it's not claimed yet as well?
That could be one reason. Again, claiming it normally resolves most of the issues. You can also double check and make sure that you haven't hidden anything from the profile and that everything is visible. And then the last thing to check is it might not always show up when you search it from the same device that you created it on. So maybe go on a different computer or maybe a friend's phone and search through there and see if it comes up.
I think that was all for now. Thanks.
Okay. Awesome. Thanks for the questions. Keep asking, because I feel like with this type of topic, it's a lot easier to ask as we go versus waiting for the end. So
I do have another one from Shara.
No problem.
When I Google my own business, can I tell if someone else has claimed it? And if so, who?
You won't be able to tell who claimed it. But if you click the claim button and Google will tell you if it's already been claimed or not. Even if it has been claimed, you can still put in a counterclaim and say, no, this is my business. And that's where the whole putting in the correct business address and making sure you get them to mail you that PIN so that only you can verify will work. Hopefully nobody has access to your mailbox and they can't steal that PIN from you. But you can absolutely claim it back if somebody else has taken it. Okay, awesome. So I know everybody's dying. Where do we start? Everybody's asking. So I'll take you right there. So in your Google My Business account, this is what it's going to look like once you register for an account, okay? On the left-hand side, you're going to see a menu, and every single one of these sections has questions and information for you to fill out. Your goal is to fill out every single section in as much detail as possible. And the reason I say that is because Google actually uses that as a way to rank you and to have you come up higher in the search results. So you might think, oh, my about section, I'm just going to put maybe 1 or 2 sentences because I want people to go to my website and I already have that information everywhere. But Google actually gives you over 500 characters. I think it's 500 or 700 characters. You want to use up as much of that space to put in as much information about yourself, because the more you put, the higher Google will rank you and the more you'll actually come up in the search results. So even in your info about your bio, you can put in keywords that you think people are searching for when they're searching for your business. So you can even seed them with those keywords, because Google will use all of that for you to come up when somebody's searching for that. So every single section that they put here is on purpose, and it is required for you. Well, you don't have to fill it out, but then you won't rank as high as if you do. It will also increase the number of actions customers take when they find you, because they'll have more information and more abilities to do things like ask questions, or maybe book an appointment, or book a quote, things like that. These are all features that Google now lets you do. And then you have to be very specific. So especially if you want to make sure that somebody who might have a similar business name or does something similar to you, you want to make sure your business that you claim is your business and that nobody's going to be confused with another business. So being super specific and making sure that everything matches exactly, even things like putting street versus the short form ST, you might not think it's a big deal, but Google views this as an inconsistency. So if on your website and on your social media, and then on maybe on an ad that you've done, or even if say you're a contractor and you use Home Stars and you have a profile on there, if all of those places you haven't been consistent, if you put street somewhere, then you put a short form somewhere else, and you've changed little bits and pieces there, Google takes all of that information when they create your profile. That's why even though you haven't physically set it up, for most people, it's already there. Anytime something's inconsistent, they start to rank you lower because of that inconsistency. So just make sure that however you've set up your business, especially on your website and your social, it's identical when you set up your Google My Business profile. Okay, and now I'm going to take you through 3 parts of how to fill out your profile. And I'm going to start with the most important. So there are a lot of things to fill out, and I don't want everybody to get overwhelmed and now think that they have a whole other project that they need to do. So I'm going to take you through the most important ones. I will list out all of them and show you the main things to fill out, but you can sort of on your own time decide when you can start filling it in, and that way you can make sure that your profile ranks the highest and you're getting the most out of your Google My Business profile. So any questions before I take you guys through the different sections?
I think we're good right now. Thanks.
Good. Okay. Awesome. So the most important, if there's nothing else you can do today or this week, fill these out. So after you register for your Google My Business profile, make sure you fill out your business name correctly, your website, your location. If you don't have a physical location, you can still select the city and country, your phone number, and your hours. Okay, and I know some of you might think like I don't have physical business hours, but we hope you're not working around the clock. So just put in hours that do make sense for you. It is a there is an option that allows you to not show hours, but if you do fill those out, you do rank higher on that completion rating. It's almost like it's very similar to your LinkedIn profile, which I think most people on this call probably have a LinkedIn profile. LinkedIn will show you how complete your profile is. They'll say you're 75% or 80% complete. Google's not going to show you how complete your profile is, but just think of it like that. The more you get and the more you put in, the higher it will rank you. Okay, so those are the most important if you do anything at all. Next is your categories. So we've talked about this a little bit. Google has hundreds of categories and you have to be as specific as possible. So for example, if you are a restaurant, you want to put what type of restaurant. Are you an Italian restaurant? Are you a sushi restaurant? Are you classified as American? What is it? Because when people are searching, they're going to be pretty specific. Most people aren't just searching restaurant when they're hungry. Some people might think, oh, I just want to go with a restaurant so that I come up in a bigger category, but that's actually going to work against you. The more specific you are, the better. Same thing if say you're a nail salon, don't put in salon or spa, actually pick nail salon. So if you can, be as specific as possible here.
Kinga, can you add more than one category?
It will allow you to add subcategories.
Oh, okay, great.
So you'll have your one main category, and then it will allow you to pick some subcategories. So that will be available to you.
Okay, I didn't know that actually, that's good. And Heather had a question. I own my own domain name, but don't have an actual website yet. Should I still add the URL?
If you have a page set up, that's even if it says like under construction or something like that, I would go ahead and add it. There's no harm in adding it, and it will just show people that it will be there. Even if you don't have anything there, most people, if you use something like GoDaddy, it will say like page coming soon, or this page is parked because somebody bought it. So I would still put it in just so that you have it there. And as soon as your website does come to life, Google will already have the two connected. Okay. And then another thing you can do is select attributes. So these are special features that customers look for. I put a little example here. Some of them are, can you dine in? Do you have takeout? So this is very important during COVID especially. Do you have delivery? There's even options such as, do you have Wi-Fi? So some people look for places where they can get free Wi-Fi. So filling out these attributes is very important. They do have various options. So as long as I would try to pick something if you can, even if you're if you don't have customers at your place of business and you're just an online or e-com business, you can still select something like Wi-Fi, because obviously you have Wi-Fi, just so that you can complete that part of your profile. But people do look at this. Okay, and part 2 is add photos. So even though this is on part 2, your photos are very, very important. And like I mentioned, until your profile is completely verified, they will not put all of your photos, and they will not change that ugly map. I still have the ugly map. So when you add your photos, you do want to ensure that they're high quality. You do not want to use stock photography. So your profile is something that shows you and your business and shows how real it is. So stock photography is something that is definitely not recommended, as well as any photos that have like crazy visuals or a lot of stuff going on. These are meant to be like high quality photos that show what your business is or who you are. If you are your business, if you're that person, then put up a bunch of beautiful pictures of yourself and things that you do for your business. And what does adding those photos do? So, oh, I already gave it away. I had a poll. Oops. Oh, well. So photos increases your website clicks by 35%. So that is actually a lot. If you can get 35% more people to your website because you added a few photos to your Google My Business profile, that's huge. That's 35% more people coming from Google directly to your website. And that's the latest stat. And those numbers, I think, will just keep going up. And then if you are a physical location, it does increase direction requests by 42%. So that's also a very big number. So as long as you have a nice storefront, and if you want to show how nice the inside of your business is, so say for the Village Hive, if Charlotte has pictures of the outside of the space and then also of the interior offices and what they look like, if people are able to see those, and they're more likely to actually get directions to come in and see you. So photos do a lot for your profile. And then Google reviews. So I get a lot of questions about Google reviews, and for a good reason. Google reviews are the #1 influence on consumer buying, especially through search. So having a really bad rating will also negatively impact you. And they're also the #1, or at least most people think it's the #1 key ranking factor in the algorithm. So although it doesn't mean everything, it's one of the top ways to get yourself to the ranking at the top with the algorithm. So most people start to ask then, how do I get Google reviews? Or I don't have very many Google reviews. What you can do is, first of all, go to some of your oldest and best customers, maybe people you still keep in touch with if they're not a customer of yours anymore, but the people that you know, if you went and asked them for a review, they will give you one. Another thing is new customers, make it a habit now and put it as a part of your selling cycle to, once you've completed the business or once you've entered a certain duration that you feel you would be comfortable in asking for feedback and for a review, make sure that's something that you do from now on. Like after today, every single customer, make sure you ask them to give you a Google review. And I think the stat is something like 80% of people who are asked to physically give a Google review will actually give one. So it's not as hard as you think. Some people, I have some clients who offer 10% off of your next service because they really want those Google reviews. Some people offer a different type of incentive if they really want to get the reviews. And another thing that's important, if you want to increase your reviews, or maybe you've been asking and you find that people just aren't giving you the reviews and you don't know why, it could be because they're having a hard time actually figuring out how to give you the review and where to give it. So one thing that I do when I either email or some customers I text with is, in your Google My Business account, it will give you a link that you can ask for reviews, or you can just copy your actual listing when you search for yourself in Google, include that link when you're asking for a review and simply say, I would love it if you could leave me a review on Google. Here's my link, you can leave it right here. So giving people that link that they can instantly just click will increase the chances of them actually filling out that review for you. Okay, any questions about Google reviews? I think the last thing is to also respond to your reviews. So having a whole bunch of reviews is great, but make sure you're responding to every single one. If you're one of the lucky ones and say you have 100 reviews and you haven't responded to any of them yet, start with your newest ones and work your way backwards and start responding. That shows Google that there's interaction on your profile. And again, it just starts to rank you higher. So literally every little thing you do on your profile, even every time you add a photo. So just because you added photos this week doesn't mean you can't add more. So most people, I recommend to put it as a part of your weekly or your monthly plan, where if you're going to add a photo to social media, if it makes sense for your Google profile, add the photo there. Every time you add something new, Google sees you as being active. And again, they keep ranking you higher because they see activity on your profile.
We do have a couple questions, and I apologize if I've missed some of them, but so from Sarah said, do they have to enter the review or can we do it once they give it to us?
They have to physically enter their review. So you cannot enter a review for anybody else. If somebody's left you reviews on Facebook or on your website or emailed it to you, unfortunately, you're not allowed to enter it yourself. The person has to log in and physically put in that review. A new feature that I have seen though is Google started putting towards the bottom of your profile, if you do have a Facebook page, and I know from the past, if you were active on your Facebook business page, there's a lot of businesses that have a lot of Facebook reviews. Google now shows that towards the bottom of your profile, and it will say like 57 Facebook reviews, and you can click on that link and you can actually go to those reviews.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Shara asked, can we use a Google review on other platforms, or are there legal ramifications of having told the client it was for Google?
Nope, Google is completely public and it's open. So if they've given your permission to put it on Google, then it instantly goes anywhere. Anybody can view it from anywhere. It can be pulled up from any platform. Websites even have plugins now where if you want, your website can automatically pull in your reviews every single time you get a new one. So if you have a customer that is very particular, or maybe you're in a legal field or something where you think that sort of action might happen, just ask them if they can put it on Google and if they're okay with you sharing it on any platform. And if they're not, then they should let you know. But if you want to cover yourself off, then I would just add that caveat.
And then Heather asked, yeah, this is, I think, a common one too, is few people that she's asked for Google reviews have said, can you just write it yourself and then they will post it? What are your thoughts on this?
I think I've had people do that for me too. Some people aren't good at writing. Some people just don't have time. So if they ask you to write it for them, go for it. If they're comfortable with you doing that, obviously you have to send it back to them and they still have to post it. So if that's what they want to do, then, and it's going to get you that review, then go for it.
That's great. I hope I didn't miss anybody else's questions. We have 5 minutes left. Okay,
so I'm going to speed up. Another big one I wanted to touch is posting to your profile. So most people don't know about this. And it does kind of seem, at first it seemed a little lame for Google. They're trying to be like Facebook and Instagram. They now want you to add posts to your profile. So just like you would on Facebook or Instagram, you can add a picture, you can add text to it and put a post just like you would on social media. At first, I was not into this at all until I started doing them and doing them for various clients and seeing the results. So first of all, what types of things can you post about? Some awesome things, which a lot of even Village Hive members and Markham businesses have won recently, are the Markham Awards. So the Markham Choice Awards and the different awards that have been recently gone out. If you won one, do a post about it. If you show that on your Google My Business account, anything like that, such as an announcement, an award, people will see that and they'll be more likely to click through to your business. If you're having a sale, that is another one. You can see, here's a nice little example where they had 25 or 20% off for a little period of time with a picture. If you have new products, this is also a great way. Maybe you launched a new handbook or a free download for people. Put it here. They're more likely to actually find it and click on it than they will on social media or through your website. And the latest research actually showed that consumers have a higher intent on search engines versus social media. So what this means is they're finding most people on social media are kind of there and they're just scrolling. And if you're enticing enough, they might stop and get that purchase intent. But when they're actually searching, they are there because they're looking for something specific. So their purchase intent is so much higher than on social media that your post will actually go a lot further. So next time you're looking at your social media strategy, see what posts maybe can you use on both channels. Or if you're spending a lot of time and effort on figuring out what to post on Instagram, but you're not getting that much back and you're not seeing as much engagement, maybe take that energy and do posts that will work better on Google. And I guarantee you that you'll see a lot higher engagement and purchase intent if you put that post instead on Google.
So much work to do with social media.
I know. And again, it has to make sense. Putting a picture of like you and your dogs is nice for Instagram. That's not going to work on Google My Business. So it does have to be relevant.
So Jean-Marie had a couple of good questions too. How about posting blogs or YouTube video? Can you do that?
You can't post YouTube videos or direct blog posts, but you can start a post just like you would on Instagram with your image and your blog topic, and then you can link to the blog, just like you can link to your or your YouTube videos. So Google does allow you to add links, and that again, it just gives people another action that they can do, and it will be a positive result for your profile.
Great. So we have about a couple more minutes left, and we want people to know where to find you and stuff too. We will be sending out follow-up email as well. So that's great. And
exactly.
Yeah, so I'll let you finish up, and
I'll
we
wrap
might have
up
to have
this
part,
last couple.
we might have to have part 2, Kinga.
Sure, no problem.
Yeah.
We already went through asking and answering questions. So again, if nobody's asked a question, make up your own. Seed it with keywords, and that will increase you coming up. And if you haven't checked your profile, make sure you do. I noticed on the Village Hive a few months ago, you guys did answer it, but somebody said, are you guys open during COVID right now? Can I come in? And you did answer. So people do actually ask questions there versus trying to email you and finding your website. Add your products and services. So it's especially important if it's not obvious, the types of services that you do offer. Maybe you're a consultant, but what does that mean? What are your actual services? So you can add as many services as you want. You can include pricing if you want. You can add as much details there as possible. And you can set up messaging. So a lot of people haven't done this yet, but you don't have to use your actual phone number. Google sets up like a fake number that no one actually uses, but you will get the messages to your app or to your phone. So this is very convenient because people can just select to message you right away. And here I just wanted to show you guys what products actually look like. So on this listing, this is one of my customers in North York. They started putting up products, and it comes up right in their profile, beautiful images of the products. If I click on it, it actually shows the full listing. So the details, how much it costs, they can order online or they can call the store. So every time they do this, they find that they get a huge increase in the sales of the products that they do push. And then lastly is your analytics. So Google will show you, they'll send you a monthly summary, but you can check it out anytime on your app or on your desktop in your account, how many views, how many searches, who called, clicks, directions, followed, bookings, and they'll keep track on a monthly basis, month over month. You can see that percentage change. So based on your activity, you'll be able to see what's happening with your account, which is really great to see your results if you've put some effort into it. Oh. And so the last thing is just make sure you maintain that profile. I know it's super tempting once you've done all of this to be like, I'm done and never go back and look at it. But even if you can, I try to give a goal of once a month, go in, make sure your profile is accurate, add a new picture, put a post, add a couple of questions, or answer some reviews, or even ask people for those reviews. Make it a part of your monthly or weekly checklist of important things to do, especially because I don't think I'm the only one, but most people I think will tell you as a part of your whole digital marketing plan, your Google My Business profile is probably, if not the number one of your top 3 things that you should be paying attention to. And this is the checklist that I'll get Charlotte to come out. So these are kind of your top 14 things to start and to make sure that you guys do. That way you don't have to go through the whole presentation or rewatch it. Every little thing I talked about is in here, and you guys can go through it on your own time. And that's it.
That was amazing. It's so, I think for us too, with our co-working spaces, I think our number, that is how, when we ask people, how did you find out about us? It's through Google My Business. So I just realized over the last year how important it really is. And this has been super helpful. And we'll get that checklist out to everybody, as well as Kinga's email information and all of that, because I'm sure there'll be lots more people that have. So, and then maybe we can all check out each other's Google business and
exactly. Check it out. See what it looks like. Some people are even surprised to realize what theirs looks like. And Most people can say that they do get business and people do find them through Google. So even if you've gotten a little percentage of your sales or people finding you through Google, just think about what would happen if you actually did something and put some effort into your profile. You've literally done nothing and you're seeing results. So if you just start filling that out and using it as a part of one of your main marketing tools, you'll see a huge increase in your business. And if you don't, or if you have questions, then message me.
Awesome. Thank you, Kinga. Everybody's saying thank you in the chat as well. So
You're
really
so
appreciate
welcome.
it. And thanks for joining us today, everyone. And we will hopefully see you at one of our upcoming Lunch and Learns. You can find us on Eventbrite under Hive Lunch and Learns. Next week, we're doing a Tech for Solopreneurs webinar. So have a wonderful day, everyone, and we'll hopefully see you soon. Bye.
Bye.